Here I am at the baseline. Right next, we're going to talk to you about the serve. Then we'll transition to some other things like the long dink and all that give you the extra good stuff. So the serve, almost like tennis, where you serving cross court to your opponent across from you, not right directly in front of you. The serve in pickleball is an underhanded serve. The most important thing to me about serve is you want to get the ball over the net and into your opponent's court. That's the thing, to get the point, is not worried about the tricks of how you get it done, the slices, spins, that's advanced. To keep this game going, your serve over the net and into your opponent's rectangular side of the court. Now, as of right now, there's about two main serves that I'll talk to you about. The serve one, the first one's called the drop serve. The drop serve consists of actually dropping the ball and then hitting it. That's a perfectly legal shot. It's one of the main ones. For people like with disabilities, sometimes that's one of the easier shots for you to make because I don't have to worry about holding the ball, keeping it stable on your paddle and hold it where I'm gonna put it and drop it on the paddle. But my favorite, as I've been playing for a while, sometimes you'll see me just leave the ball right off the paddle, send it up, and then send it over. Still, perfectly fine serve. Whatever it takes for you to get the ball over the net and into your opponent's court. So I'll give an example again of a serve one more time so you can see it. It's always behind the baseline. I got one. Always behind the baseline, whether you're on this side or this side. So right here, when you start the game, I'm 0-0-2 score point. That means score starts at 0 my point, 0 there, and I'm from this 2 position over the net into the court. The thing about only thing you should be concerned about also on the serve is it has to be past the non-volley zone on your opponent's side. So that point on the line where you see there's lines on the court where it separates the non-volley zone, the 7 feet space from the net to and the 7 feet from the net to their non-volley zone line. Your ball has to be past that line. You cannot touch that line or it'll be considered a fault. One more time. Serve, drop serve. It consists of me dropping the ball, sending it up. That give me a place where I can place it and wait for him to turn it. Now, also remember, after you serve, you don't want to rush up. You and your partner will be behind your baseline. Once you serve, you want to stay back because you have to let your opponent return the serve to you, and it has to bounce first on your side before you can return it. That's the serve.
The serve from a wheelchair is a lot different than abled body. We have 2 options. We can drop and hit the ball, or we can take it out of the air. I'm going to demonstrate both. In both of these serves that I do, again, the pendulum swing like Gabe, Rob, and Seth talked about, I'm taking that ball. I'm not just hitting the ball straight up. I'm using further back motion. When I'm making my approach, I'm hitting the ball further back to launch the ball further back to my opponent's area. You're going to see when I drop the ball or when I actually hit the ball out of the air, that pendulum swing is going to be mainly important. So here we go. I'm going to try it. Big thing, 2 things to keep in mind. When I make my strike or when I hit the ball, it's got to be in my opponent's opposite quadrant. The ball has got to get past the kitchen or the non-volley area to keep the ball in play. If the ball hits the net and it drops into the kitchen, it's a fault. If the ball hits the net and it hits past the kitchen area into my opponent's quadrant, it's still a playable ball. All that being said, we're going to do a couple serves. When I serve the ball from a chair, I'm not just squared up. I angle my chair so when I make the approach, I get most of the momentum using the chair as well. That being said, I'm going to use a 45-degree angle to make my approach. Make my chair a 45-degree angle to the direction I'm serving in. In other words, I'm not serving from here because I don't get a lot of momentum. Well, if I turn my chair toward the direction I want to serve, I get more momentum and the chair actually works with me. All that being said, here's a serve. So I will call out the serve, 0-0 start, and ball's in play. Now watch my stroke mechanics again. Look what's happening. I hit the ball and the ball is actually coming over my shoulder, similar to a tennis swing. I don't want to say that, but that's where I get my most momentum. Come up and I'm back to the ready. Here again, the serve and the ball's in play. Okay, so again, where I make the contact is the same thing as I'm using a dink. I'm just using a little bit momentum, using a little bit more force, and the ball travels further. Drop and hit. So drop and hit, Ball still in play, but the same position, the same momentum, the same stroke mechanic still applies. Drop and hit, drop and hit, ball's over the net. And or from the air, toss the ball and hit and serve. But look where my paddle is. My paddle is at the ready, and I can come back and I'm ready to play for the next serve.